different hacks.
Here we go then, time to find out our first semi-finalist of ESL One Katowice 2018 with an upper bracket final sets fair between Secret and Fnatic. That's right, the surprise package from the kind of SEA region are into that upper bracket with a shot at the semi-finals, already guaranteeing themselves a place in the top 6 and the quarterfinals, even if they lose today. But they don't want to do that, do they? They want to go head-to-head with arguably the best team in the world right now. Certainly the team that sit at the top of the DPC with the most points, and that's Team Secret. We've had a little change on our panel. We welcome Nahaz back alongside Purge and Blitz for this particular game. We're going to start things off, gents, with Fnatic. Kevin, we'll start with you. It's great to see this lineup progress this far so quickly, isn't it?
It is, yes. But I think I'm going to have to see the series to start putting some stock into them. The road they had was a little bit easier, maybe. I just haven't seen them enough yet to have a lot of resounding confidence.
Yeah, on the other side of that, always tempered my enthusiasm for these boys. I look at them and you just think, this is a TI team. This is really good. This is really exciting. Yes. Temper that for me, Will.
You need
Bring me back down to ground zero.
You need, for me, to be qualified as a Tier 1 team, you need to beat one of the Tier 1 teams first. Yep. That is the real litmus test in Dota. You can look good against all these other teams. Like Vici, I wasn't really willing to crown yet until they had taken a series off Liquid or Secret. Now that they have, I'm willing to move them a little bit up in my echelon. You do it again, then I'll really consider you.
Right.
But for Fnatic, I think you beat the teams that you should have beat. I told you, you said, what's the dark horse team in this bracket? I said, Fnatic is a very easy, like an easier way to get to it, because I felt like Newbie dropped some random games. They had to play against who was it, Navi in the first series, who had been together for like a week. Now they have to play against Secret. It's like, pump the brakes. If you beat Secret, then we can talk. Then I can start saying that Fnatic is a good team again. But until then, who knows?
Yeah. Okay. Alan, Fnatic, are you on the Fnatic hype train?
I am, but I'm very much thinking
Tempered
you guys
as well.
have the right story. Again, we said this with EG, right? This is the time of the year where it needs to stop being about potential and start being about performance. And this Fnatic team, it checks all the boxes. You got the additions of Abed and Universe, two world-class players that very much suit, I think, their play style. You've got a team that's finally established consistency in their own region, beating the other two big teams, but they don't have that big land pin in their cap yet.
You can see boys are getting ready, all starting to gather around already. The draft's not just ready just yet, boys, because we haven't spoken about the other team just yet either. They go head-to-head with a team that... Are they arguably #1, Kevin, or are they definitely #1?
I've heard a lot of #1s on this panel so far. They have the most points, they have the most wins, they have very, very good talent. I think Secret is safe to say is the #1 team right now. I wouldn't say that it's like a blowout. I'm not saying this couldn't change in a month or two, but yeah, they're definitely the best team right now.
Okay. Ahead of Liquid, why are they ahead?
I think one more tournament's easy.
Yeah, it feels like...
Logic, I like it, Kevin. Right down my street.
It feels as though they sort of have Liquid's number is the big thing. I think Liquid, when it comes to like the confidence aspect about playing against Secret, it feels like Secret right now, they're one of the few teams that don't fear any other team. Like Liquid, I think, might have a little bit of a, do we really have to play Secret right now? But I think Secret doesn't really have that. Every one of their losses you can write off. Honestly, you can. Yeah. The one at Perfect Gold Masters, they had to use a different mid player. When they got top 4 at the last minor, they had to use a different offlaner the day of. Like, you can't really prepare for that. And they still looked pretty good. They almost beat Newbie in that series. And so for them, there's very good excuses of why they haven't won even more than they have, because I could see them easily have winning both those tournaments.
Okay, Alan, I've got a tough question for you. If you go back 5 months ago to the very beginning of the start of this brand new world of DPC, almost no one had Secret on their radar as the best team on planet Earth right now, did they?
No, and
if they didn't, why not? And how have they managed to turn that around in 5 months?
Well, that's an excellent question.
Three questions.
I think I have a good answer for you, Paul. I think the answer is, I've been saying this all along, that when I think a lot of people are high on Ace now, and a few people even were high on him then. But I don't think anybody back then saw Ace and Fata as like these, oh God, those are the best 2 players available. These guys are juggernaut superstars. But they fit so well into Secret's playstyle right now. The flexibility in terms of what they want to do and bringing pressure on the map. And I'm starting to hear, for the first time, a number of people in the scene that I really respect are now talking about Ace as potentially being the best player in the world in terms of how he's playing right now. And you know what? I'm not sure they're wrong.
Yeah, they basically got these players that were a little under the radar, and then all of a sudden like hit this upward stride at the same time. I think I would even include Yapstar with that. Everybody knows he was really good, but all of a sudden he joins the team, and now it's like, okay, he was already really good, but now it's like, he's consistently amazing every single game with a group of players that are at the same level, and that's why they perform so well.
And what really strikes me too, just one last quick one, looking at Fata and especially looking at Ace, is that Ace is doing the same things that he did when he played with Danish Bears and when he played with that Cloud9 team briefly. He's showcasing that same hero pool. It's just that Secret is able to use what he's able to do so much better.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, Will. As a player, looking at his trajectory, it's fairly narrow actually early on. He's played a long time, he's played for a lot of teams, not necessarily at the very highest tier. What's the difference for him? Because as Alan rightly points out, his hero pool hasn't really changed that much.
I think playing with a captain like Puppey, it elevates your game. Like when you get to play with one of these like 3 or 4 Western captains that have such a big background, I think it's honestly like it's career changing, because I think in the past especially he had to be the captain. From what I get, like he had to take a lot of the reins in that, and now he has none of that pressure. He gets to just play. Puppey is one of the best captains at utilizing his players. We've long known that, and it's been phenomenal his growth. Like I think he's the rookie of the year so far for me.
Okay. The man on the screen right now is the captain of the team. Rarely gets the MVP award, actually, whenever this team play, regardless of whether he's played well or drafted well. It's almost the quiet man of the team these days. It's almost, and yeah, here he is, superstar. The guy's been around forever.
Puppey's amazing, and what I think Puppey deserves so much credit for, I still think Kuro as a drafter reigns supreme, but Puppey, what he's able to do, bringing these young players into the team, you saw this with Wee, you're seeing it again with Ace, he's able to recognize their strengths as players and incorporate those extant strengths into the team's play style in just a remarkable way.
Doesn't win him MVPs though, Alan.
You know what? If this team wins, that man looks like he could use a nice car.
He does.
He doesn't play that many flashy heroes is the other thing. He plays a lot of very sacrificial 5s, very similar to like PPD's role.
But that's what I'm saying, Kevin. It's hard to give him those,
Paul,
isn't it?
Because
Because
Paul, come on.
how do you give him it?
You're playing the storyline that Puppey doesn't get MVP awards. He's like constantly just talked about in terms of his drafting prowess and stuff. Like, come on. He is like top 4 all talked about glory captains. You can't say he's not talked about as an MVP or whatever like that.
Well, he
I think
doesn't
that
get
already,
MVP awards though.
There's how many? This is the second car we've given away. Of course he doesn't have one yet. Come on, he just didn't win that tournament. Like,
all right, so if he wins this tournament, he's a genuine contender.
yeah, well, they've only played 2 sets and they were stomps and I didn't see him, so I can't give him a vote yet.
Stop giving me logic right now.
Sorry,
Stop making this easy.
I gotta break this circle that's going on between these 2 ends of the table. Me and Will sit here.
All right, let's talk about this man on the screen right now, Eternal Envy. But there's some bad blood. We already know that. I don't want to harp on about it. I think we've talked about it forever now. There's no need to keep going. But they do have some former Secret players in this lineup, right? There's an extra motivation for them if they ever needed anything to beat Secret right now.
Yeah, I think Envy though is one of those players that's pretty cold about stuff like that. Like I don't think
you think he just kind of forgets it. It's not even part of his psyche now.
Yeah, I think as weird as that sounds, because you know we know him as sometimes as a very emotional guy, but like when it comes to Dota decisions, he's pretty calculating in that regard.
Okay.
So I think what he'll do is he'll calculate like what gives him what he thinks anyways is the best odds at winning, and that's about all he really cares about.
Well, these two have faced off, Puppey and Envy, former teammates, obviously. Rivalry goes all the way back to the days when No Tidehunter was playing Na'Vi before they became Alliance. They have faced each other 56 times. Puppey holds a 37-19 edge. Yeah, and it's been pretty definitive recently.
Yeah.
Puppey's historically always been on the better team, though. I think,
exactly.
The best one that Envy was on was when they were together.
Yeah.
So, not too surprised.
That was also like the worst period for both of them, though.
Yeah.
Luckily, you say that, but that was Puppey's first major championship as a captain.
No, I mean right after that.
Oh, right after that, yeah.
They're just talking,
Yeah.
they're talking it out right now.
Screenshot that right now.
I'm sorry, man. My bad.
I didn't mean to kick you.
He was kind of looking up to God there and giving his prayers or something. I don't know. We're 30 seconds away from the draft, so let's turn our attention to that. Alan, what are you expecting in the way of the two teams draft for game one?
I think hero-wise, you gotta think of Fnatic as two teams. They're kind of one team when Envy plays Terrorblade and another team when he doesn't. Envy is 12-2 on Terrorblade going back to January 1st. It's his most picked hero. He's 51 and 23 all time on the hero. No other pro has more than 30 wins on him. Dominant on that particular hero. When he's not on TB, he tends to be on these tempo controllers like Razor and really focus on enabling Abed. And I think long run, that may be where Fnatic is a little bit better.
I think that Fnatic, Envy's a really interesting player because he's had a really nice evolution, I think, because you can't just be the same player your entire career. Like, time passes you by. The meta switches so often that you have to switch with it. That's how players like Puppey and Kuro have managed to stay ahead. Like, Kuro came onto the scene as one of the best one-position players of all time, and now he's gone from 1, 2, 3, 4, and now he's 5.
That's usually the way it goes, but not, Eternal Envy's kind of bucking that trend.
Yeah. But I do like the fact that Envy, he's sticking to his guns, but he's also switching within his role.
Yes.
Like, before, we would see him on heroes like Ember Spirit. He was the centerpiece of why his team won or lost, but now he's enabling more of his other two cores. I think they're coming into their own a little bit here. But against Secret, I mean, that's a tall task. And
despite them being a relatively recent team, I do appreciate the fact that they have a lot of experience, because if we do get in a situation like the last series where they get outdrafted game one, I do feel like they'll be able to shift gears a little bit and play stuff out of their comfort zone. Maybe not their immediate comfort zone, to hopefully adapt the strategy and end up taking a win.
You may also hear some more shouting in the background. Earlier on, it was LGD versus Newbie, and I would imagine that that's VG downstairs against Virtus Pro, making a bit of noise. That one is live right now on the other channel, so if you want to have that one in the background as well, feel free to watch that one too. It's currently 18 minutes in, that one, in the first game between Virtus Pro and VG Gaming. That's also for a place in the semi-finals. Both of those unbeaten so far. There are only two teams so far have gone through without losing any games. Virtus Pro?
Secret.
Secret.
Yep.
Secret has only played 3 games so far.
Yeah, I mean, so Virtus Pro, that's partly why. But still, the fact that we're on day 3 and only 2 teams survive with 0 losses is
They must be so
surprising.
well rested, actually. It's like, what, day 3? And they played 1 game the first day, then they played 2 the next day.
That's the advantage.
Easy life of winning, isn't it?
Just keep winning.
It's so simple.
Coach Blitz.
No stress.
Why did nobody else think of this?
New drafting and tactic by Coach Blitz. I like it.
Guys, I noticed you've lost some games.
Have you ever thought of just not losing?
Have you ever thought of just winning?
It'll make the road to the finals a lot easier.
So, on the we talked a little bit about heroes for Fnatic. On the Secret side, the Bounty Hunter is still a concern. They finally did end the ridiculous streak that they had with Bounty Hunter. They lost a game on it with Ohio as a stand-in at the Genting playoffs, but that's still a factor. And Secret, one of the only teams in the world right now that really does value Skywrath Mage. They've taken it in. They've taken it in the first phase twice in these last 2 events.
Can they keep that record going, by the way, with current 5? Because technically they haven't lost, have they?
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I think it ought to be.
That needs to carry on, really, doesn't it?
You got it.
Let's scrub that one out of that Dota or wherever it is.
You got it. Done. I know a guy, Paul.
Funny, I know a guy too. Might well be the same guy. Thank you, Knoxville.
So I think we are going to see a lot of keeper bans. And I was wondering, because Secret so reliant at times on that Lone Druid in Ace's hero pool, I think we're going to see a lot of coddle bans here as the event goes, maybe even more than DK.
Yeah, I
so
think I
the first
agree.
2 days.
Because the amount of mobility that it gives you is pretty amazing. And it seems like most of the supports have trouble punishing him, I guess, at all stages. Just always moves places and split pushes.
Yep. And I mean, split push, I've always thought in Dota, split push is really about risk and return. It's about the ability to threaten different areas of the map with low risk. And Coddle he changes that equation. He gives you the ability to split push almost risklessly with so many more different lineups.
I think it's mostly because teams and heroes are very capable of taking tier 1 towers. I feel like it's not that difficult for towers to go. And once towers to go, the split pushing is so much easier for Coddle. Because there's so many different places and trees that he can hide, and it's harder to actually react and kill him. So I think think that makes a big difference.
Just a quick update on the picks while we wait for this pick. By the way, Brewmaster is now 1-11.
Yeah, he's been wow.
8.3% win rate, which is just crazy.
Yeah, that's super.
I mean, for a hero that's been picked that much.
Yeah, it was a little bit skewed initially because it was
of
a fact and
Infamous, and
Infamous
it was a fact they both picked it 4 times.
But yeah,
but the rest of them, who knows?
Still what, 1-7?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, without those 4 games, it's still 1-7.
So
Naga is doing very well right now. 10 picks, 70% win rate.
yeah, the last and one of the heroes that really, again, we start talking about is this hero ban worthy for a lot of teams. They've opened Naga Shadow Shaman in the past, give them that pushing presence. I really like that from Fnatic. The other first phaser that you'll see with her, I think, is the Sand King for them.
Well, they take disruptors so that the Fnatic can't get the combo.
Yep.
It's one of the better ways to deal with her too.
That's true. Glimpse her back before she TPs, stuff like that.
Yeah, and you can get her teammates out too. For Secret, I wonder if they take like Rubik or I'm trying to think who else works okay here.
I mean, there's still a lot of supports in the pool, I guess.
Yeah.
They weren't banned very much in the first phase, all cores this time.
Yeah.
Except for ET Coddle.
So Tusk, okay. All right.
Yeah, I like that too, I guess. It helps catch her a little bit easier. Helps gank other lanes. Like, she's okay at responding to ganks, but not great. And they can certainly kill the offlane hero with Disruptor Tusk. That should be really useful.
Yeah. Secret, not a team that have picked a lot of Tusk here in recent memory.
No, 3-0 since 7-7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question is, do you take? Okay.
I still really I just really like this open from Fnatic because you get the team fight reset button in the Naga ult and you get that guaranteed pushing presence out of the DJ Rasta. They will give DJ farm priority generally when he's on. Actually, they've run it. I'll mitigate that a bit. They've actually run it the Shadow Shaman on both, but in either case, they tend to focus on getting him fairly early to shags.
I remember DJ just focused on split pushing mostly. And farm just a really fast Ags.
Yep.
Maybe I'll change it up this game item-wise, but...
No, that's the last couple times they've run this duo. It has been Pylai, Naga, and DJ on the Shadow Shaman.
Yep.
And DJ's averaging about a 20-minute Ags.
It's almost like they've got 2 4s in the team. Or 2 5s, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I mean, Pai's certainly always been a 5-player.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the harder 5s in the game.
I think the biggest thing that ties the 2 heroes together is their use of nets, mostly. No? Okay.
There was some trouble we went through there, Kevin.
Yeah. Thank God I wasn't on camera for that one.
Right. It's just a test, I know.
Yep.
You were testing them, weren't you?
So Underlord banned out as well.
This is interesting, though, to me. We haven't seen a lot of 4 support opens in this tournament. There've been enough in the last month or so. There've been enough cores the teams have started valuing super highly, like the Razor that got banned, like the Gyro that's also banned. I guess it's more a product of the bans here, and then the DK is another that we've seen teams start to take the leap and commit to the Tiny in the first phase.
Yeah, it's really about like how many of the first bans are supports, how many are cores, and the ones that it's all supports. We see a lot of cores picked up early, so.
All right, that makes sense.
At least that's small sample size happened last set. But
I wonder what you do about TB in this.
I guess because both teams have Elder. Oh, Elder's gone as well.
Yeah, the Elder Titan's banned.
And all the supports have been taken too.
Oof.
So why didn't they just take TB in the first phase then?
That's what I was gonna say, if they were gonna just open Naga TB, but you haven't seen the other cores yet too. So Secret can still do stuff to counter it. Work their way around. They have a really nice Tinker player themselves. And Secret have shown like versatility. Because the heroes that are good against TB, mid one can play. The ones that you don't see very often too, like Zeus.
I like that Brood ban. They have showed a Brood Mother, have Fnatic.
But then Secret have a Scar player and a Meepo player.
Yeah.
And Secret will
And a Brood player.
Important
that
while we're
matter.
talking about the TV that Fnatic will have the first pick going into our second phase. So if they want to nab the TB, they will have a chance to do it.
Yeah, I think TB or NP are pretty cool here.
Why NP?
Just good feeling about it. I think it's really nice against Disruptor, and Tusk doesn't want to follow you around either.
Are you a little bit back on the NP train now that Liquid picked it?
No, I'm back on it because there's no Coddle.
Good.
I mean, if you have really good matchups, the hero can work. That's what I said. Like when Kinguin did against Newbie.
I had my draft order wrong. Sorry about that, guys. Go ahead.
When you take it against like Coddle and stuff, the purpose of the hero feels really limited.
Fada's most played hero of the last 3 months, and by some distance, by the way.
Yeah, I kind of like Tide, because jumping in the fight, ravage the whole team, buys you at least a couple seconds until Naga sleep goes off. If it's like a single target initiation, it's hard to catch Naga in that as well. And you can also start the fight before Shadow Shaman gets in position to drop wards or get good disable stuff. I feel like it's an okay opening. I mean, obviously, he can still get matchup beat, but they can't even pick Witch Doctor, because they got double supports. Go for Avenge carry.
There you go.
Most likely.
You know, Fada was the first when 707 came out. He was really the first player to understand just how much the some of the changes favored Tide, just how tanky he could be early on in the game. Vengeful, unusual though.
Very unusual for them. None of their 3 cores have played it in the last 3 months by the looks of it.
No, so Envy's played it once since January 1st, but they have run support Venge. They've run 5-position Venge 3 times, which is weird that this may be a core Naga.
It could be.
That's why I think Secret take the Tinker. And in case it's like they're going to do something weird with the Venge, and Fnatic are trying to trick them, and they take like TB themselves, you already set yourself up for a nice angle to counter both sides. It's like a good all-around pick. And that's what I meant, like mid one can play either the Tinker or the Zeus to deny the illusion-based heroes. So you're okay there. You cover your bases. For Fnatic, I still think NP is okay now, but you can pressure a lot. You lack damage though, is the only thing.
Yeah, they definitely would. I mean, they have good minus armor, I guess, but...
Can you take Beastmaster here? Double aura strat. Universe is 8-0 on Beastmaster in 2018.
It's okay. It's a good catch too. You do okay in the vision game.
I like Beastmaster just for his potential to pursue Tinker through the tree line.
Ooh.
All right, so this is... I wanted to talk about this before the game, but this is... Abed's hero pool is a little unusual. His big 4 heroes are the Tinker, which has made its way back into the meta, obviously, but then the TA and the Invoker, and that's... Yeah, not a lot of other players.
Don't leave me hanging.
I know, I just forgot, and I lost my
Are we talking about aces?
Oh, Ember. Ember is the one that nobody else has
yes.
touched. Yeah, and they've first picked it.
Just wanted to make sure Reddit knew you could count. That's
I know, the stats
So
guy.
that's the first Invoker pick we've had so far at ESL One Katowice. Has had 1 ban.
Well, what do you think about Invoker right now, Will? When I talked to Shane about it, he always says that Invokers was terrible. At least that was like, I don't know, 3-4 weeks ago. Do you feel somewhere around the same line?
It's okay. The problem with the hero is like when the meta is faster, it doesn't favor him because you have what I'd consider like empty net worth. You have to get a subset of items. Like you get a Midas, it doesn't do anything for you except help you farm. Then you get like point booster, and like the lead up to your items is very weak. Like, what the hero does best is he just farms neutral camps while you Midas creeps, and then
Set
your
up
teammates.
Sunstrikes.
Yeah, exactly.
He's very much in a feeling out phase right now, where a lot of the top traditional Invoker players they're picking him again in officials, but they're experimenting around with a lot of different builds. I've seen Resolution has gone 4 staff into Ags. He's gone straight Midas in like 2 consecutive games, so it's pretty obvious that a lot of teams are still kind of trying the hero, maybe even without that Midas build.
Yeah, I mean Thompson did.
Yeah. Oh God, Meteor Hammer.
He went like Spirit Vessel, Meteor Hammer or something. But the problem with the hero has always been that he's slow. But when the meta favors him, like you allow him time to farm, he's sick because like 6K of your net worth doesn't really do much for you in the original starting of the game.
Unless you use your spells perfect, even.
And most people like just get run over. Like when you see Invoker games and Invoker loses, like I saw Liquid lose with it once. It's just because the enemy team runs at you nonstop and they hunt you around the map. They take your towers. Then Invoker can't farm the jungle.
I would say with the Invoker on board that this is almost certainly then going to be a farming Venge and maybe even an aggro tri-lane look. Because I just don't think, there's the Beastmaster that I expected for Universe 1 pick earlier. But I think Fnatic are looking to aggro here.
Yeah. They've got very good clump and push later on too. So
Actually, I like this draft quite a bit from Fnatic.
Just Timber saw it up, boys.
I mean, it counter all the minus armor, I guess.
It's just so.
It's a lot of disable. I mean, they could save him a snowball, but
I feel about Tinker right now, kind of how you feel about Storm.
You could do like LD and just run at them too. I'd be
I
okay
like
with
LD
that.
a lot.
yeah, I think they need something tankier. Maybe that requires a little bit less farm.
And something that can, I like something that they just kind of semi-sack in lane.
LD's bear would die really fast in if caught though. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Oh.
They'll go for TB. Wow.
Nice against Venge.
Yeah.
It
that's a
is,
great pick.
but I don't know though. If Abed gets going on this Invoker, that's actually a lot of burst damage.
If you cast Reflection, he's got Inner Beast Aura.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got Venge Aura.
Oh god.
I don't know. That was a good pick. High
Yeah,
armor.
we talked about it at the very beginning of the draft, didn't we? And said what a dangerous hero it could be for both teams. Ends up being the last pick of the draft. Adam, which way has that draft swayed you?
The draft, I actually like Fnatic's draft. I think this is 55-45 draft, but I think Secret's a much better team right now in terms of how they're playing. I'm going Secret.
I think Secret Crush. Secret.
Yeah, I'd go with Secret as well.
Okay, 3 for Secret here. Very clean sweep. Let's find out from our commentary team who are in the commentators' booth right now what they think of this particular game. Gents, good afternoon. Good evening now, actually.
Good night.
You've
Are
got
you Truman showing this one now, Paul?
We could do that. I did that this morning. That was a time zone friendly welcome to everyone. You've got an Invoker game, lad.
It is.
do.
Yeah.
We've
Not
done
many of them around anymore.
Well, we got to see a lot of SEA games, at least me and Owen recently, and this is the pick they actually do versus Tinker a lot, so I'm pretty excited to see what Abed can make work of it.
All right, we're good. Take us into game 1, boys.
Yeah, we'll see if it can work outside the SEA region is another big
is true.
thing, and up against a team like Team Secret, if that's going to be possible. The last pickup is where the panel was putting most of their attention with that Terrorblade pickup. It seems difficult or almost impossible for Fnatic to deal with.
It is going to be very tough for them to deal with. I think this is kind of an ace in the hole. Just realized that while I'm saying it. That was silly. I'm sorry, Toby. You're the ones that do the horrible
Yeah,
ones,
that's my job. You can't take my job.
I'm kind of disappointed in myself right now for doing that.
Yeah,
I
you
actually
just-
didn't. I did not even. Yeah. Okay. Whatever.
You've been-
Anyway,
you've
I
been
think
spending way too much time with Owen, haven't you? Like it's now just rubbed
Oh,
off on
God.
you. You become one of us.
Oh God, what have I done? That was not. I mean, that was really not intentional. Whatever.
That's all right. We
But-
won't be able to clip this and put it up for your girlfriend to watch later on because
God. But yeah,
Yeah,
it is a very strong Terrorblade pick, and we've seen what this hero has been doing lately. Liquid has been dominating on it, and Ace is also one of my favorite Terrorblades. He's so consistent on this hero.
I'd say talk about it pretty quickly. We've got a lot of smoke movement coming
go.
into smoke movement, so they'll break each side. Pylite dies up the hill. There go the shards, pushing him into the tier 1 tower, but Glimpse, Poppy leveled it up, and the Sunstrike's coming in. That's actually trying to help out from Fnatic. That won't help Pylite die. On the run up the hill, the Gust is there, and that's going to be mid-1, getting the kill with the laser.
First blood on a Tinker
Yeah.
versus an Invoker. That makes the lane quite a lot harder for Invoker. Already not the greatest matchup. You can use your... Abed's actually one of the better ones. Of course, his Invoker is quite sick, but he uses his Forge Spirits really well to last hit, even though he's going to be lasered up a lot.
They're Sunstrike scouting at the moment from Fnatic. Almost too old school to watch this happen. But also notice too, we've got 17 seconds before the runes are going to spawn up. So Team Secret just ensuring they're able to claim at least 2 of these runes, but they've actually backed off the Dire rune. So someone needs to go up there and commit to it.
It'll be 2 for 2.
Yeah.
So Fnatic, they are running that aggro lane that the panel was talking about. So they are going to try to pressure the Terrorblade and give Beastmaster a better start, because otherwise he suffers quite hard. We'll see what rotations and adjustments are made. Well, Terrorblade might be a bit sad here.
Well, for now, Yabsaw is just trying to hold the creep wave up on the top. He managed to... is this even intentional that he did this, that he grabbed the 3 melee creeps and not the range creep? Because I know you want to push your range creep towards the front line.
I mean, they both work. If you block all the creeps, it's great. If you block all the creeps and let the range through, it's just as good. So I think that's going to be fine, and we'll probably see them... They might even just ditch this top lane right away and just go toward bottom once they recognize this is an aggro tri-lane. Now Tidehunter has a much better position of the lane.
Yep.
He's also got Gush at level 1, so that does hurt his 1v1 quite a bit.
So you just got to babysit him until he can hit his... actually, you almost need level 3 on him, right? Like, you need to have, like, the 1/1/1 now.
Yeah, but he's versus a Beastmaster, so he should be able to get his farm. Beastmaster is one of those bullies now, though.
I just
I've
wait
seen-
for the ball slow when he cannot move in the lane.
I've seen the way that... I've seen Fada's control as Tidehunter, and it's remarkable the way he controls the lane.
And that range creeps out so far ahead. You go, son. You run that race.
So now
Highlight is making a pay in the butt for Ace, as he's actually picked up the early orb of venom you're talking about, so Ace is not a happy chappy. With the creep wave being pushed off too, Highlight looking to keep the aggression, at least the deny is up underneath the tower.
That's a really good play there by Pi. Just don't let him secure even the range creep there. If he hits it once, you get the deny. If not, he misses it. And the rotations do come out. So the one thing for Secret is YapzOr tends to play a lot around the mid lane. He strictly actually plays mid. He'll TP and make the rotations to the other lanes, but it's really all about securing mid one on this team for him. While Puppey is the opposing one. Puppey actually tends to play almost always in the safe lane. I actually was looking at a bunch of like the heat maps, and it's pretty crazy how much it actually shows that that Puppey plays around Ace and YapzOr plays around mid one.
Yeah. But they always combine together, though, right?
They do.
Like, you hit around that 10-minute mark, and then they're holding hands wherever
They're
they
getting
gank mid
aggressive.
lane. Going onto Arbed. No shards already being committed, so Arbed just running around the hill. The laser will connect. Rocket still available, level 1. And nope, that's why he pops off both the salve and the fairy fire, just to ensure there's enough life to survive. But that's a lot of consumables now down for Arbed. He's already buying another salve, bringing it out in the courier.
They know that this Tidehunter has Gush level 1. DJ ports top quickly, and Universe is already now just destroying this lane. 9-4 to the 1-0 of the Tide.
Yeah, Fada needs some levels. He'll get that now as the creep wave comes back in range of the tower.
Yeah, I like this. The laning setup so far, though, for Fnatic has been beautiful. Sure, the Invoker's going to suffer a little bit, but he's going to catch just right up once he gets those Force Spirit levels.
Shards, again trying to lock in Die Puppey. Not much more he can do about this. It's a level 1 glimpse. Like, he doesn't even have the damage or the control that comes in from the kinetic field and the Thunderstrike.
Yeah, the level 1, you know, they got the first blood, but it's actually hurting their lanes quite a lot because of having those abilities.
Yeah.
Tide still, now he's got a couple more last hits. He's got his 3, but in comparison to 14-4 of a Beastmaster.
Yeah, this lineup could have been so much more aggressive. Fada's dropping low. Universe won't dive onto the tower for it, however.
Putting so much pressure because he doesn't have the Kraken. So a couple right clicks. Beastmaster has 73 base damage. Gets just amplified by those axes too.
This is I guess when you beg the question, right? Like you can definitely understand like you going on the back of Team Secret's lineup, saying, hey, these guys play really good. Fnatic's lineup is very well drawn out, but it's a little bit slower to come online, a little bit more greedier in some ways, even when you do have like a VS core in the off lane. But do you actually feel like after that first blood now that it's not as greedy? Like Arbed, you said he's gonna play the catch-up game later on, but he still seems to be pretty neck and neck with the Tinker. Glimpse on bottom, Eternal Envy coming back to the fight. Pilot Eye wants to help out. Puppey is low, but the Shards locking in Eternal Envy. He wants to kill on Puppey, maybe killing his former teammate, but it won't happen. Ace, the Danish Terrorblade, is able to bring him down. So 2-0 to Team Secret as far as the kill count.
Yeah, Secret, I think overall, though, I think they still had a bit more of that greedy draft anyway. Even if there's an Invoker in the game, that's why they picked this the Venge carry, so that they can have that quick tempo. Same thing with Beastmaster. They both are these cores that they can just make stuff happen around the map quite early on. That's
kind of nice for Fada. Keep the creep wave between his tier 1 and tier 2 tower. Relative safety already has level 3, so the 1-1-1 is up.
DJ's making these moves so nicely, though.
He's just bullying Fada almost, to a point where Fada's going to have to take damage. Support is coming in. Universe is tanking up the creep wave, but YapzOr and Puppey have both done their rotations. The Shards are a perfect block from YapzOr. Nice, close choke point. And no way to run back out again. Team Secret chalk up another one.
You always want to contest between the towers as these supports. But versus Tusk, versus Disruptor, these are those punishers. You have to be very careful of.
Ensnare is out. March of the Machines. Try and do its work to at least give some like real repair damage. Tuskar Snowball was the only thing that was going to save him, but YapzOr just can't get there in time. Pile Die finding the perfect moment as we hit nighttime, and Tinker just didn't see him coming.
Now Invoker pulls ahead. All 3 cores on Fnatic, quite happy. Fada, not so happy. Level 3 Tide. Universe is getting close to level 5. He's going for the Axis build, of course. That's just the thing that everyone does. And he's got a bottle early on, so he can collect those bounties. And Fada can't contest them too well because he doesn't have boots. So free mana for Universe constantly to be able to pressure. Once he's got phase boots, Fada's actually at risk of getting ran down.
I actually love the Universe's approach too with the item build. He's showing us so much in his quick buy, going for the phase boots, so the higher movement speed, higher rotations, but it's the Shadow Blade straight after.
Yeah,
like,
this is
not going Necrobook, going for the Hunter.
It's the pick-off build because they have an Invoker, so they want to be able to abuse and get him
Pilot
locked
Eye's in
into
trouble.
Sunstrike.
He's going to get locked in position inside the river. Not a lot Arbed can do apart from pump in a little bit damage from the hillside. Glimpse is available for Poppy, but it's still only level 1. But yet again, another successful rotation in here from Team Secret.
4-1, but Fnatic still has the gold lead because of how well their cores are farming, in particular Universe, as we're mentioning. Mid one.
In snap, it's going to connect, and no armor on him. Forge Spirit's doing their work, the cold snap. Getting 5 mini stuns on that retreating Tinker. You thought you saved him, but then Yapso walks off the lane for half a second and problems.
Hop in Invoker, man.
Yeah. With that, he actually gets in front of the net worth of the Tinker. Eternal Envy may not like this position. Puppey right on his tail, and so is Ace. Glimpse pulls him back onto the hillside, and Ace has already got the high ground. And more of himself. Envy, no. Takes the bounty rune. Efficiency. Waste a little bit more time, grab a bounty, and hey, it's all worth it, right? Spent
his gold as well. So they're recovering Ace through kills, because his last hits aren't the greatest, but he's top net worth for his team on the board. But Universe continues to just be this bully top. Phase boot's finished.
Level 6 is up 2 now, so Fada's going to be a little bit more careful.
Especially once they see that Abed has Sunstrike mana. He's about to have that too.
What level are we sitting at? It's only a level 3 at the moment, but still 225 damage.
Yep. With some axes, with the roar, a couple extra right clicks from Beastmaster, could be enough to bring down that tide. Universe could also go for a TP rotation if they see people overextend. And Secret have already gone to this semi-recovery mode for the Tinker. He's gone for the 2-1-2 build, since they already can't threaten the kills on Abed. He's just going to be stacking and farming jungle with March.
It looks like Ace is moving into the jungle as well. The Observer Ward they had a little bit more defensively inside their own jungle. Watching Fnatic's movement is now timed out. So they put down an aggressive Observer Ward. It's on top of the Dire Shrine on the southern side. So at least they'll know when Fnatic want to back up. So if Abed wants to go jungle, they'll know about it. And he'll go there sometime soon. The Hand of Midas is only a recipe away.
Yeah, I think that's like a double kind of vision ward. It's not only just to watch when the Invoker is going to go back to jungle, but it's also to watch when the rotations from the supports come down to gank that Terror Blade. I do like that ward. That is Invoker's territory.
Well, Ace is going back into the lane. It's still going to be a one-on-one, but Universe, this aggressive maneuver, but as Abed in the middle lane got glimpsed him, double TPs coming into mid. The Sunstrike, you see him hold hands together. The snowball goes out. Paladai is low. Raw is out on top of Poppy, but the Shackle's controlling up Yapsaw. He'll get one more shard off, and here comes Fada. He runs to the front lines, looking for the kill onto DJ. Ravage is available. Abed back up on top of the hill. So for all the heavy TPs, for all the engagements, it's still only a 1-for-1 trade. Tuskar for Shaman.
They're both really high level on those supports, though. Shaman level 5, same thing with Tusk. So quite a lot of gold going for both ways.
Looks like Yapso may want to try and make the most out of this. Everyone TP'd in towards the mid lane for Fnatic, so very few people will be here to help out Envy. As long as Envy just comes a little bit further down, he's got a glimpse of Yapso. The creep wave just saw him, so he's already backing up and TPing in towards the mid.
Knowing Envy as well, he's got the timer. He's probably like, Metamorphosis available again. They're looking to gank me. So because that seems like every single time they've made the move onto Envy, it's when meta was up. Envy's got the 4-1-1 build, so he's looking to get active. They've got enough duration of the stun to get those Sunstrike lockdowns.
They're hunting. They're looking for the Tinker. Mid one is actually so low, 400 HP. They walk around the corner, and mid one walks into them. The Sunstrike won't even be able to connect. Envy finds the pickup already. That's very problematic for a Tinker who's getting closer towards his BTs, but still another 1,100 away. He needs more time, he needs more space. That aggressive ward doesn't help. Especially considering they smoked back away from it.
Yep. Secret a bit under the gun here, but they're still farming well on their main hero, the Terror Blade.
Yep.
It's just Fada, because of that, having that level 1 Gush. Sherry's 102 with 38 last hits, but you can see his net worth is quite far behind that of the Beastmaster, getting close to half.
They're smoking a gang top. They want Universe. Level 2 glimpses up from Poppy, so he does have the range to pull back Universe. That's why Universe starts with a Roar, begins his run, the Reflection units chasing him off, and here comes your snowball forward. The shards catching both of them from Yapsaw, but will it be good or not? Universe is still there in the back line thanks to the glimpse, so they split up. DJ goes one way. Ace able to finish him off, and Universe running circles now. The wall is there from Poppy. The axes will kill him off, and Universe's high movement speed. He has enough speed to outrun the Tuskar shards. Maybe not enough to get through this. Snowball coming in. Almost enough damage. Fada is so low. And Universe one-charging and bottling through it all. They want to get the top net worth. Here comes the shards again, but it's well off target.
They wanted that Beastmaster so badly. They committed so heavily. Ace went for the easier kill, but they end up missing it, Universe, because of those phase boots. That extra movement speed he gets to run away.
Yep. It's
Fido.
the consolation prize. It would have been worth so much too.
Yeah, Fido almost died too. If he even like misstepped at all there, he was just gonna get clipped by that Sunstrike. Bottom, Pi, looking for the dive. Dodges the glimpse with the mirror image.
Yep, and Sunstrike's right on the money, so goodbye, puppy. Try to do his work. DJ will drop the Mass Serpent Wards, and this Tier 1 tower's days are numbered. Not even past the 11-12 minute mark.
Fast pace coming out from Fnatic, even though they have this Invoker lineup. Just having that Venge carry plus Beastmaster having such a good time. They can make the moves around the map easily. Now threaten towers. And Ace top.
Ace, yeah, where's that Sunstrike? It's still coming up. It's off cooldown in 1 second time, so here it comes with the stun, but it connects! Ace will fall down. Far to try to create space. Now the Ravage is blown for not much more. Envy does have swap available. He's just on the edge of the range, and he'll snap him up, pull him back. You can break free with the magic missile, but the negative armor and the damage from Universe's Axis will do the work back in towards mid. Pilot died deep under the Tier 1 tower. They're looking for a little bit more. And now, well, they've managed to catch out the Invoker. Glimpse back into the Storm, doesn't have the range. Mid one with a double kill. And Tinker picks up his BTs thanks to those 2 kills.
Secret needed that pretty badly. After having used that defensive Ravage top, losing their tide anyway. Mid one's still on the road to recovery though. He's just pulled ahead of the Venge. Not anymore after that. Tower gets denied, but 3 cores on Fnatic, farming incredibly well.
Yep. This is one Universe is going to have to make some big plays, but the Shadowblade is ready to come out once the Courier returns to base.
12-minute phase Shadowblade.
Yep.
That's
It's a good time. He's 5.6k net worth. He's got, he's 600 in front of the Invoker, who's walking around with 4 kills for the 1 death.
They can burst this Terrorblade now too with this. He can run around in the jungle with Shadowblade. He gets a right click, throws Aurora Axis, Sunstrike. Easy kills on this Ace Terrorblade.
It's almost max Sunstrike anyway. He's sitting at 350 damage on that Sunstrike.
Yeah.
Always that that global helping hand. Eternal Envy's going to go for the same kind of thing, so is double Shadowblade, is double Hunters from the Fnatic lineup, and both of them have that initial stun, that initial control.
I like that they're being so active on those 2 cores to give Abed that space, even though he's had an incredibly good time on the Invoker. 4-1-1, 66 last hits.
This would be a little bit nicer for Team Secret, adding pressure to that Tier 1 tower up on top. So the fact they kept their Tier 1 tower alive is at 47 HP, well within the denier range for their Tier 1 tower top. And I'm wondering why, like, they're that confident to keep it up. Is this almost like they want Fnatic to try and have another crack at it?
I think just deny it, because it'll reset their glyph. And their AC DJ pushing bottom. They might have just, in panic situations, sometimes you don't even notice that stuff. It's like, oh, tower's low. All right, well.
Maybe you should do something about this, maybe not.
It happens.
Universe coming in very deep. Defensive Observer Wards from Team Secret on that cliff next to the top Tier 1 tower, but also in their jungle, protecting the 2 close camps to the mid lane.
But look at the wards from Fnatic. They've got Tinker ward bottom, they've got another one to spot up the Tinker in the jungle in the rotations, and that mid one to watch behind the tower. Just quick movements and top now. Fada gets swapped.
Yep, this is problematic. He has, well, okay, he has nothing. The Sunstrike. The second this lines up, there's no point burning the Ravage.
This Tidehunter is not having a good time. He's almost same net worth as DJ.
Pilot is just walking straight in. He ensnares onto the Terrorblade, grabs up the Bounty Rune, and then Song of the Siren. They want to go again. There's no Sunstrike damage for 3 more seconds. So they got to hold him there just a little bit longer. Eternal Envy has the magic missile. Ace wants to run out. Here's the Sunstrike perfectly on the left. So Ace is low, but sunders the target. Pilot die. Now he drops over. Universe on the run. The shards will lock him in place. Pilot will die in the lane. Universe will die in the river.
Clutch timing from the supports to show up. Static Storm saving his teammates, saving off Ace there. The Roar wasn't able to get expended by Universe. But during all this, DJ continues to... I mean, he's found his home. We know DJ's home when he plays Shadow Shaman. He just sits in the bottom lane.
He needs to get these shards off. If he can get the shards, he basically gets the kill. Okay, he's got it. Abed drops the meteorite right on top of the Taskguard. The Sunstrike connects onto mid one. Abed multitasking the bottom lane, using the Mass Serpent Ward's aggression to his advantage.
They're gonna get... This tier 2 is almost pretty much dead.
Yep. With the next creep wave, Alacrity buff doesn't last long enough, so that's not going to help him. But the top tower The TPs are coming in. Tinker to the front lines, but Eternal Envy underneath the Sentry Ward gets revealed. Fada was thinking about the Ravage. Now he does let it go. Eternal Envy actually swapped in Pylite Die. The wall is there, but the Sunstrike will kill off Puppey. He is still alive. The Rockets fly forward, but it connected onto Universe and not onto Eternal Envy. It becomes a 1-for-1 trade-off, even though the Tier 1 tower goes the way of Secret. The Tier 2 tower on bottom is still being peppered.
Fada got just slightly greedy with it. Didn't expect the swap to come off. That was perfect by Envy. So it's really important for Secret in these fights. Now that they know the Shadow Blades on both heroes, they're going to have sentries down for every single fight. So I don't think we'll see Envy walk in like that versus the team.
This seems to be way too easy for Abed just to get more and more money. Like, I know it's the classic when you've got a whole bunch of stuns in your lineup. The Invoker Sunstrike's going to get you connection. Yes, there's that Tinker Ward going to work. DJ's leaving it for Abed, but the Tusker snowball in! Yapsaw flips him like a pancake. Abed's going to go down. He wants more, but can they get to DJ in time? Puppey? No? Okay, yeah. Goodbye, DJ. Eternal Envy's in the neighborhood, trying to get a return kill onto Yapsaw. We're going tit for tat down on that bottom lane. They definitely know that Tinker Ward is up as Envy just attacks over the Fog of War tree line. But 14-13, these teams giving us what we want. A bit of a bloodbath on every single lane.
Playing so active on the side of Fnatic and taking advantage of their wards nice and early on. Sure, it's going to get dewarded, but they already got the kill on the Tinker. It's absolutely worth it for them. They're not slowing down, though. The only person who's really been hitting jungle creeps has been Abed, which he's allowed to do as the Invoker. Everybody else on the map for Fnatic is just running around looking for these pickoffs.
Yep.
And Secret is definitely vulnerable to that. They've got a lot longer cooldowns. They are very reliant on their Ravage, on their Disruptor ulti. While in comparison, you look at Fnatic's, it's all about fast pace. Pretty much their only long cooldown is Beastmaster Roar. I mean, Naga Sleep, but they haven't been using that one to set up just yet.
Beastmaster Roar is still at 75 seconds. That's still a kill around a minute. And Abed's happy with this. Like, he farms up in the jungle with these Ancients. He'll now have enough for his Aghanim Scepter. So we're 17 minutes in. The timing's not too bad for him.
No, it's great.
How's the Terrorblade looking? Like,
he's caught up heavily.
Is there a critical item from Ace that we look at which kind of, like, I don't know if it's Ace you just plan for the mid game to fight, or if you say, you know what, I need items right now to try and engage. Actually get involved in this. What do you do?
He's the only physical damage doing this game. I think he has to get massive. He wants to be able to save and put off that BKB as long as possible because he's versus an Invoker. So I think he's just going to go stats. He's going to go that usual Manta, Dragon Lance, something like that. I even saw he picked up, what, Drums?
Yeah,
so I think he's just
Dragon Lance, and now he's got Manta in the goodbye.
He's just going to go stats and, like I was saying, save the BKB for later because versus Invoker, you don't want your BKB to start ticking down low. That's how you really get punished in the later stages of the game.
How long do you leave it out? Like, do you also think about picking up the Skadi or something along those lines before you get the BKB?
I think Manta BKB in this game.
Oh, Song of the Siren. They will just look to catch the Tinker out, and they've got him. Mid one trapped in the trees. A lot of damage on the Pylite Die, but mid one still will go down to the big damage from the Invoker. Abed with the Tornado. They'll flip him again. He wants to go Invis. Deafening Blast creates a space. 11-1 charge. They push him away, but now they pull him back in again to the Storm. But Abed needs more space. The Ravage will not allow it. And Universe offers himself up. Roars quickly. Two huge cores for Team Secret to bring down. The top two net worths on Fnatic.
Very worth a Ravage, killing the Beastmaster. I got a little bit of heart attacks from those shards, but they still had glimpse available. And we do have Puppey going for his classic. He's got his casual buckler, so he's a happy man. Yapster is going to get the Blink Dagger to go for those catches. And we see that DJ this time, he is preferring to get the Blink Dagger since he's versus that Tinker. He's a lot of the catch for his team. So no Aghanims for the Shadow Shaman just yet.
Pylite Die is getting more and more space up on this top lane.
Yeah.
He has his Tranquil Boots on the Courier, but he sent it back to home after it was halfway out there to pick up the rest of the stuff. So obs, sentries, whatever you got.
Secret's going to have to be very focused on they have to just have a massive Terrorblade this game from the way that this start is. Spada, like we were mentioning, having that Gush level 1 really hurt him in the laning phase versus Beast.
Yep. The things you do for First Blood, it's almost like attempting Roshan at level 1 now. It's just like, well, what is the point? But speaking of Roche, here come Fnatic. Mass F wards are down. Universe will summon all of the beasts, the creatures of the wild. And Eternal Envy with that Mask of Madness just does so much work. The Tuskar Sigil scouts it out. They want to get rid of that. Able to do it very, very quickly. But Fada, well, no Ravage. DJ blinks out, goes with a quick Hex. The Shards will lock Fnatic inside the pit. They still want to fight inside that Fog of War as DJ. Fada back in again. Tornado will pick him up and then drop him back down again. Fada gets the Regeneration Rune and then the Snowball Protection. He'll end up surviving, but they're rolling all the way up to Eternal Envy. Sunstride's coming in. That'll kill off Fada with a follow-up roar. Yaps will go down. 2 heroes with the Ice Wall. It tries to create that buffer, and they'll swap him back into it. Eternal Envy all over Ace. They'll lose their big one. Down goes the Terrorblade. The Aegis Immortal will still crack on Eternal Envy. But Team Secret is in full retreat. If they can get back out, that Observer Ward gives good vision, but there's no stun for Universe available to try and catch out the Tinker.
Envy's so clutch with these swaps this game. From saving himself multiple times to that one, DJ buying back, then being confident enough to lock down that Terrorblade before the Sunder can come out. And Fada ran in and I think he's realizing his role in this game. He's just gonna be dying nonstop. He's even queued up an Aeon Disc, which is very rare. Usually Fada gets a little bit more farm priority, but this game he's just been so shut down.
In case we didn't realize that the enemy has vision around the Radiant top jungle. And they're 100% right. That marker is on the money. Here goes your little fight in mid. Fada, he's going to be burned dry. Roar is there. Up, and he's a little bit more damage with the stand to hold him. The Ravage will buy some time, so DJ and Eternal Envy can be attacked, but they just swap them out. Tuskar Snowball, Yaps are a mid one, staying on the back of Eternal Envy, but he has the vision. He's playing around. That's why the Sigil is there, but the Song of the Siren, the Rockets still keep flying. Eternal Envy,
he gets the Shadow Blade.
The Shadow Blade will trigger. They don't connect. Pylite Die will probably fall here. He just continues to play around this Observer Ward, will die to the tower as Universe will run away. Metamorphs is done again. The Sunstrike, no! Puppey holds hands. I thought Yapsol was going to be in trouble for that one, but still, a 1-for-1 trade out of that. Ravage burned once more.
Fnatic not slowing down by any means. They get the Aegis, they don't go back to farming, they just look to pressure. Every single time they've got Beastmaster Roar available, they're just looking to pick fights.
And Team Secret's trying to keep up with them. Like, they got 3 Blink Daggers, so there's still positioning advantage for Team Secret. Yapsol, Fada, mid one, all walking around with these guys, but then you got Blink Dagger on DJ, you got double Shadow Blades for Fnatic. Each team has just a beautiful arsenal to keep the aggression up.
Yeah. Fnatic is they're just gonna keep that pace up though. Now they know that last fight, Ravage was used, Meta was used. This is their go time. As soon as they've got Roar, they can just keep looking to stay active.
As long as they can keep finding mid one, he's still causing problems with that Kaya. DJ cops 2 rockets and has to retreat. I still found it amusing. The Team Secret took that entire fight after Fada pinged out the fact they knew exactly where the Observer Ward was, and they still fought under the full vision of Fnatic. It's obviously gone now.
Yeah, they were just that time they were doing a great job of using that Sigil plus Rocket combo, but that last second Shadow Blade by Envy.
Do you like this choice from Universe to actually like completely skip going the Necro books in order to grab the Silver Edge?
I think this game, yeah. I think if they can keep killing Fada like this, he's gonna have such a little impact.
When you say this, you mean this?
Yeah, this.
Okay, this. not this.
They wanted
the other this. I'm sorry, there appears to be a problem.
At one point, the book, if he doesn't get it, the book 3 really early on, it kind of just becomes useless. So I think this build, he's gonna have more utility for his team. He's just hunting.
Yep.
Abed.
Oh, Puppey, he's walking over, puts down the Observer Ward, gets a lot of vision early on.
Abed's pretty much got BKB now.
Oh, the Roar and the Sunstrike. Puppey protected once again. Yapsor, right place, right time, rolling all the way forward towards Universe. Now both the supports a little bit too deep in, but it will work when Fada. It's 4 heroes with his Ravage and the follow-up Storm Wall. Envy had to keep running, but they'll glimpse him back into the Storm. The wall is still up. Eternal Envy will fall. And Team Secret, they were the ones initiated on. Fnatic wanted a quick kill and move on to the next, and it ended up being a 2-for-1 trade-off in favor of Team Secret.
Having Ravage available, every single time Secret does have Ravage, the fight, as long as Fada doesn't get bursted or as long as he's not completely isolated and they're playing around him, the Ravage should be able to win Secret the fight. They didn't even have to expend meta there, which is really important for them.
But as you said, that's the reason why he's picking up the Aeon Disc. Fights like this is only just making this Aeon Disc come sooner and sooner.
He knows, like I said, he knows his role this game. He is the absolute sacrificial lamb as this Tidehunter. All his role is just get Ravage off in the fights.
I'm interested to see like if like how Arbet then deals with that. Right now he's going to go for the defensive item, the Lincoln Sphere, both BKB and Lincoln Sphere. Are there different aggressive items he can look for? Like, I don't know if he wants to go down the blink path himself or if it's disabled. Like, how do you play this if you're Arbet to get the advantage in the fight?
I think it's just usual standard Invoker items, to be honest. Like, the BKB early on is definitely to deal with that Ravage, but I think that's more than enough. And the Lincolns, he can use really well to work around the glimpses, around Sunder, etc. later on. I think for the most part, though, Invokers, they don't vary too much. He could throw in a Blink because he's versus a Tinker, but it tends to just be the same item builds for Invokers when they go the Exort build. We got to see Thompson Invoker, but that's a completely different story. That's
basically the most depressing answer we could have had for that question. What a shame.
Yeah, it just is what it is. You don't want to vary too much from the build because it's the strongest. It really just is.
It's the build for the reason. He's gone Dagon on mid 1 now. The amplification of damage is just rising and rising. This will be a harder world for other heroes like DJ. Maybe not so bad once they actually have the items, because you're getting a BKB on Eternal Envy, and DJ is going to go for the Aghanim Scepter, so there'll be some decent life on him.
Fnatic's been on point with the rewarding this game, though. Every single time it is Secret under vision of them. We see that one there up top, and we see one behind the mid-tower very early on.
This is a good, the end of their Observer Ward. They only had 20 seconds left on it, and Puppey was able to see the Shaman walk out under it. So he knew. He knows. That actually means so much when the only aggressive ward now that's down for the Fnatic is the one back behind that tier 2 tower between the tier 2 and tier 3.
They are quite limited on vision, yeah. They have the Hawk, which will help a bit, but it's a Hawk. It's got a long cooldown.
Yeah, you're gonna need that for the critical moments. But Silver Edge is now fully completed over on Universe.
They can go for those pickoffs more on Fada now. Break that Kraken shell and be able to burst him.
I kind of want to watch the Tinkers TP out. Like, this is that... It's that hairy moment, right? Like, mid 1 is cool, calm, calculated. But how can Fnatic catch him? These Tinker Wars need to come back up again.
Yeah. I think that's why it's so important that Yapsor rushed this Blink Dagger.
Fada blinking himself forward. Yapsor's going to be there, nowhere to hide. Just axes up and, well, there you go. Flip him out. Silver Edge does not help you when dust is brought to the fights.
Secret is, they're playing very defensively, but it's starting to climb them back in this game. They recognize that this Terrorblade is really the big tool for them to win this game, so they're just setting up obs, sentries all around. They know they're going to find either a Beastmaster or Revenge looking for these pickoffs.
Is Terrorblade actually going to be enough? And like, the only reason I'm starting to think about this is because my mind is moving to that 4 position, moving into almost a 2 position, and it's the Naga Siren. But then I saw the item build from Pile Die. Okay, he's actually changed it. He's
going to go Meteor.
He had a Blink Dagger. He had a Blink Dagger queued up in his quick buy, and I'm like, okay, if he's song at the Sirens, what does Secret actually do about this? Because Ace, like, he's going to get the BKB up, but if he gets that now, like, he's going to be the only person. He'll be isolated, then focused by Fnatic.
He's high armor, though. Even though they're going to have, like, Vengeful Spirit hitting him, if he gets BKB off during the songs, focus firing him down is going to be really, really tough. They have to pretty much throw everything on him. And then there's still always that risk of that snowball coming out. Yeah, just gets propped. Henry's actually going to swap aggressively.
Yeah, he's going to. Tinker's TPing further forward. Here comes Universe. The shards fly out, but the Axes, okay, Massive from Wards here. They want to fight inside of him, or maybe they don't. They're going in so deep to the dire side of the jungle. Roar is out. Yapsor, he will fall. The Storm not being as effective this time around, and Pile Die wants to reset the engagement. They see the glimpse. They're keeping Eternal Envy in range. The Sunstrike's on the money for Fada, and Pile Die move just far enough to the side to open up that opportunity for him, while Arbet can focus on Ace. The EMP burn will bring him down lower. Pile Die needs a way out. He doesn't have one. Denial won't happen. The rockets fly nicely.
That was such unbelievable good control by Fnatic there on Fada. Fada tries to like hide inside the tree lines so that he can eventually get that Ravage off later, but the sleep catches him, and then they use the Hex instantly from DJ. So Hex can't dispel that, gets Sunstriked up, brought down. If they'd had a Ravage there by Secret, the fight could have been pretty disastrous for Fnatic.
Yeah, I was asking the question, like, how does Invoker control that? But it's the other heroes of Fnatic, right? It's their positioning, it's their timing. It's the fact that DJ has played such a huge part in this game as well.
Yeah. 10, 3, and 6 on the Invoker.
Well, I'm just happy these teams are keeping up the intensity. So it does say 23 to 21 on the board, so you may feel like Team Secret are coming out on top of this, but if you look at the graphs, it kicks the other way. 5K in the net worth, it's almost 10K in the experience advantage going the way of Team Secret, just being a lot more efficient on this map. But it just seems like a lot of that also doesn't count for much either. Like the Tinker, as long as he can keep the pressure in the side lanes, then your lanes push out nicely. Same for Fnatic, if they can get their pickoffs, use their shadow plays to grab some kind of opportunity, then everything resets once more.
Secret's mostly just about their two heroes. It's about like this Tinker and Terrorblade having an incredible game, and sure, Tidorn just needs to get Ravages off, but Fnatic's, they have to be more in unison. Everyone else has to have a role in the game. It's not just about an Invoker taking over the game by himself. Everybody has to do their part.
Puppy's up so far. The Forest Spirits are opening up on him now, so welcome to 12 armor on Puppy. Tornado only barely misses.
12 armor. Like it's like he gets hit by like 6 Forest Spirits. Oh wait, he's got Medallion and Buckler because it's Puppy.
it's the classic Puppy. He's normally got the plus 12 armor.
Interesting. So Ace actually is going for more greed. He did queue up the BKB, but he's now switched it into the Butterfly, feeling like he does need to be that big that big huge carry, and he needs to delay that BKB as long as possible. That could change. If they do look to take a fight, he could still go for the BKB, but if they win a fight, he could just get the B-Fly straight off of that.
Still crazy to see like Fnatic pushing further and further ahead. Like this experience they're getting. Like Beastmaster sat in the bottom lane the entire time, just gathering more and more experience, more and more money, while Secret were 5-man smoking, looking for an opportunity.
It's the Midas Invoker as well as the Shadow Shaman having the experience gain talent. He's survived in a couple fights, and DJ's just been playing very, very greedy. So he's level 18 already on that Shadow Shaman in comparison to the level 15 Disruptor on the other side and level 16 Tusk.
It's the supports of Secret that are hurting. Fnatic are now coming in. The Hawk is already up, so they have great vision around Roshan. It's the Academ's Mass Serpent Wards. And that Roshan, -5, -7, -8 armor, and down he falls so quickly.
That's a big problem for Secret, that Fnatic just can go in there and take that at any moment in time. And there's no way that they can respond.
So Aegis the Immortal is in the hands of Eternal Envy. Cheese into Arbed's paws.
Definitely feeling concern for Secret if they can actually take the fights.
Yeah.
Fnatic's keeping up such a good pace.
They need big Ravages, but their high ground defense still seems like really, really strong. Like Fnatic are going to have a hard time breaking the base unless they can get the pickoffs outside.
That's what they're all about. They're all about those pickoffs. And I mean, DJ's just literally been pushing out side lanes constantly. Let's look. I mean, just pulling up the last hits really quick. Look how much he's catching up. He's pretty much tied with the Tidehunter. 132 last hits on a Shadow Shaman. He knows his job this game.
Yep.
Push side lanes, get up those Tinker wards, try to find the pickoffs.
I think the other job is, okay, really hardest one, pick up Refresher Shard when it drops from Roshan. They will be very quick at doing that too.
They've got two huge heroes to get that Refresher Shard. The Abed Invoker, since he's gone for Cataclysm, and the Shadow Shaman.
Oh, the double.
Okay.
Okay.
It's only about, the thing is Cataclysm, it's not very good until you hit level 25. Once you got Radial Deafening Blast, it actually becomes more of a spell because you can push people into them.
But for now, well, he's going to be on his way. I don't see either of these teams being able to close this game out anytime soon.
No, this
and
is
even if you do manage to take one lane of Rax, it's still no team will still tap out. Thanks, Envy.
The classic. Is that the third time he's done twice? At least the second time I've seen this tournament that he's done it.
It's the second time at least. I saw him do it once before. He did that yesterday.
Everyone takes Rosh Timer, so it's not a massive deal, but.
Oh, is it Roshan timer 31:20?
Ah.
There, mind games. What are we counting now? Is it Mass Serpent Ward timer?
It is 31.
Okay, it's 31:20.
And Envy, if you notice, he's gone for a bit of a different build. He's gone the Orchid, so he's going to be going for that Bloodthorn.
Be good control over someone like Tinker. There's no way against it. Ace is in real trouble. They actually just dropped the Mass Serpent Wards instantly. He's got no buyback for 72 seconds. The only upside right now for Team Secret is the Mass Serpent Wards were already committed. So march it up. No easy way for Fnatic to force the high ground. Roar on bottom lane. Another pick off. Yapsaw has to snowball, but Arbed, he ran so quickly in that Ghost Walk, and his Tornado is right on the money. Sunstrike, same as well. Yapsaw goes down. 2 heroes with no buyback available will now have to rely on mid one to hold the line.
Secret in big problems here.
They have to TP back for the March of the Machines. Like this has to come back now. The March of the Machines will soak up in the mid lane, so that won't push quickly, but Arbed, the damage, that was over 200 on just there, 262 plus damage. hitting into that tower on top of his 151 base. They found Puppey. Tornado up, Meteorite, Deafening Blast. He's just being pulled around, tossed around, but still got the Storm off. Here comes the Cataclysm. Will hit on absolutely nothing as Eternal Envy is way too deep. Yeah, he's got the Aegis Immortal, but he just burned his BKB and was tanking the tower the entire way. Down to 175 HP. That has to be the best result here for Team Secret. The fact their tier 3 tower is still up and no one, like, that was the damage for not having buybacks on their two heroes.
Fnatic was trying to punish there because they've always got the reset button. They've got the Naga, so they can take a bit more risky maneuvers versus this game.
Tinker, top lane, Arbed, he managed to catch mid one. Oh no, he didn't! Mid one ran up north, into the trees, needs to rearm and blink quickly, even further up, and he'll rearm and blink once more. March the machines and then TP the hell out of there. Such a good Tornado, though. You were mentioning it before from the games you cast of him.
Yeah.
This is how Arbed hunts the Tinker.
I was saying, this is their counter pick. When they see Tinker, they instantly snap pick that Invoker. And they're continuing to do a very good job pressuring the map. They're kind of like closing it more and more. And when you're playing Terrorblade and all your lanes are being shoved in constantly, that's where you start to suffer because you're kind of scared of just walking out to a lane versus this lineup. They have the means to burst you when you don't have BKB. And we're getting closer and closer to those level 25s.
Yeah.
23.
Mainly Fnatic. There's a reason, too. They've got 25,000 experience advantage in 35 minutes.
Level 23 on Invoker and level 22 Shadow Shaman.
22.
DJ just pulling up, and he's got the refresher queued up already.
Yeah, he's building his refresher. So is there actually a way, unless you give him the cheese, like if you give him both the cheese and the refresher shard, can you drop the 4?
4.
Sorry, the 3. The mass weapon wards.
He's pretty close to having the mana for it if you bring some mangoes. If he has like 2 mangoes, and then you get, because you essentially get 3 arcane boot usages if you use it properly. So he should have the mana for all 3
Universe.
if they go for it on him.
Sunstrike's a little bit off target. The Roar's coming down. Mid one in the tree lines. Fada. There's the snowball save. The Ravage to connect. Pylai, Die, and Puppey. They're caught in the corner. Song of the Siren. Eternal Envy's trying to bring down Ace with the help of Arbed. They're able to do it, but it'll cost Eternal Envy his life. And the rest of them is the TP out. Mid one may look to fight a little bit more if they knew how long Arbed was hanging around. But a 2-for-2 trade-off. Terrorblade is down.
They're punishing Ace for his item decision here. Ace really wanted to be greedy. He went for that butterfly. He even queued up the Eye of Scotty next, but now he just got picked up twice. He instantly just switches to the BKB. It's way too hard to play these core heroes versus Invoker. Invoker he's the master. You know, he's the spell master.
And Invoker's going to have that disabled too. So if you don't get the BKB off, he's going to go for the Scythe.
He's not actually going for the Radial Deafening Blast build. So even though he went Cataclysm, which is the unique, you kind of need the Deafening Blast to set the Cataclysm up, he's just varied the build. He wants to look for the Tinker more, is what that tells me with the Tornadoes.
Negative 16 seconds.
And now they could look, that's more than likely now going to be DJ getting the refresher shard.
Top lane again. Found the target. While we were looking at the stats, it's up on top. The mass weapon wards it down and mid one falls. They have the defensive Tinker ward on the hill.
That was a DJ pretty much getting the solo kill. Just a Sunstrike being added on. Those Tinker wards.
He BT quickly up there too. So how does Team Secret deal with this? Like Yapsor's hanging around. They may think about Roshan. Cold feet for Yapsor. Knows he has to jump away. Crimson Guard won't save him from Arbed's attack, but Puppey also caught in a bad position. TP is on cooldown, so he stands his ground to fight, but that won't help. DJ with the shackles and shock. And if they're actually purposely giving him the kills as well, he's at 4.9k gold now on that Shaman. Rapidly approaching the refresher. And top lane, they found another one. Arbed, he did actually end up tracking down Yapsor. 3 heroes again, down 2 without buyback.
Fnatic's just dismantling Secret. Secret's getting split up around the map because their lanes just keep getting shoved in. Like even Pi, look at this. He just meteor hammers at tier 3. All right, it's backdoor protection. But the fact that they're just pushing in all these lanes constantly with their heroes, they're just finding Secret getting isolated because of it. Now they've got the refresher on Shadow Shaman too.
Yep. DJ, nowhere he can easily TP in, but it doesn't really matter. Fnatic are taking this bottom lane of Rax. The Tinker is going to come back up now in 2 seconds' time, but the melee is already gone, so they look towards the mid. That's where Universe is attacking. Fada jumping forward, just trying to sway them a 4-staff away. He's always got the Aeon Discus, that Ace up his sleeve, but now the BKB is done for Terrorblade. Ace can be something in these fights. But the buybacks...
They need him to be everything in these fights, pretty much, because it's still... I mean, I'm just looking at Fada's net worth, and he's I haven't seen Fada struggle in Tidehunter like this in a long time. They've really just taken advantage of him having that gush early on, that level 1 skill point really making the difference, him not able to catch back up. And yeah, Fnatic just constantly getting so much farm across the board on their heroes. Even when they're all grouped up too, you see that Vengeance aura. Since he's got, you know, the level 20 talent, Invoker with Alacrity's hitting for like 500 damage or more. It's pretty unbelievable.
It's like the old buff ups. You used to buff up the bear, not buff up yourself. But this is rough ground for Team Secret. But how can you now play this? Like, do you get aggressive? Is it just fight around Roshan? Do not give him the refresher shard?
They have to get like perfect Ravages is pretty much the case here. Get ideal Ravages on 2 of the cores, bring them out of the fight so that Ace can just run over. Because he does have the BKB now. He's actually able to run around in the fights. But it's still so hard. You see Fnatic. They're just constantly shoving in all the lanes.
Yep. The bottom is going to shove itself in anyway. Like, Yabsor comes down to defend this, which means no close sigil. They at least prioritize keeping that Shrine alive. 309 HP on the Shrine for Team Secret. They need this thing. It's the only way they can bring reinforcements back into the fight. And Tinker, it may actually just be worth a buyback as well to defend this Roshan. You got it on Tinker as well as Tide. Everyone else is currently short of the cash. Terrorblade just got his money.
They can't let Fnatic get this 3rd Rosh.
Yep, they know it. That's why they're hanging around. 4 heroes in smoke under the pit. Now Fnatic smoked up as well. They'll run in close. Fada, he doesn't want to initiate, or does he? Tusker jumps in. Eternal Envy pops a BKB. Raw is on Ace in the back lines. He needs to get out of this one before he dies! He dies so quickly! The control is perfect. The buybacks are not committed. They're all on the run away from the Mass Serpent. Tusker will die on the hill. And Team Secret, mid one, swap back in again. Needs to blink once more. Able to do so. The Sunstrike, the Shackles. DJ's got him. Locked him and killed him. Eternal Envy with the triple kill. Fnatic will claim Roshan and everything that comes with it. Nubet already jumped towards the mid lane. He's attacking the mid melee as well as range racks. Tinker is forced to buy back to defend this, but there's little to nothing he can do to stop it. The only thing that stops Fnatic right now is the fact the tier 2 tower is still alive on the top lane, so they can't claim Megas with just Arbet alone.
But they get what they want here. DJ, he eats the cheese. He had to actually use his refresher in the last fight, but he's got the refresher shard now.
Yep.
And this, I mean, it's a 30k gold lead, Toby.
Yeah, it is. It's 30k gold. It's experience is kicking up a little bit higher as well. Experience actually now hits 35,000. And you've got the full Bloodthorn and the Aegis on VS, plus 4.5k. Yeah, they're rolling in their dough.
Fnatic they're actually making like all the right moves too. Like that one, the smoke on smoke action. Yep. The Roar coming out from Universe. He's been having an incredible game on this Beastmaster. Sure, Terrorblade's got BKB, but doesn't matter if you can't.
Small lag.
I felt that one too.
Yeah, we all felt that one with the Kale. But you're right. Like Fnatic just made all the right choices in this. They've done their homework. They were very well prepared. The pickup for the Invoker, while we haven't really seen it much at all, the matchup they got with that after the Tidehunter with the Beastmaster, it's just, yeah, it's the dream right now. And Team Secret need to find a way to wake up, give him a kick.
It's just so hard for them to start these fights because they're not only under vision constantly, like these Tinker wards have been incredible by Fnatic, but I mean, Fada just can't get in there. He goes in, he gets like instantly locked down, they ignore him for a second, and then they isolate Ace.
You could see him wanting to. At one moment in that mid fight, I thought he was going to. He had that moment to blink and then just 4-man Ravage right in the middle of the fight, but it didn't happen. The rest of his team would have been a little bit too far away, even if he did jump in and get that Ravage.
Yeah. It's feeling to the point where Secret has to do some kind of risky moves to come back in this one.
Yep.
Because now, I mean, Fnatic, they're just chilling back. They're like, all right, let's just wait. Our Shadow Shaman's level 25. We can wait 60 seconds for him to have triple wards, because he does have the mana for it now. He's even buying a Soul Ring just in case. And triple wards, I don't know how you defend that. Your base is going to die.
Yeah, how do you even clear it? Like, you need to have Ace already in the perfect position to attack them all. But that doesn't even work.
No, I've actually never seen all 3 placed down. I've seen 2. I saw, okay, I think at Hamburg, maybe I saw the third placed down, but the game ended instantly as soon as he got the 3rd one dropped down.
Well,
I'm just going to watch, actually.
Yeah, 30 seconds until Refresher Orb is back off cooldown.
Yep. And Fnatic, they're just closing out all the lanes, and you see Secret just positioned in their base. They can't really make the aggressive moves outside anymore under all this vision. The Hawks, the wards. It's way too risky. They have to commit too much to get any kind of pickoffs.
Sentries everywhere. Don't let Shaman slip through. Or maybe that's the way they could do it. There's a sentry ward down in mid. So if DJ just tries to walk it in, at least they can pick off the Mass Serpent ward. So the sentry, he's now in range. Here comes DJ in through the front. Yapsor, now's your moment.
There's
oh,
one.
is it? DJ,
Two.
number 1, number 2, number 3. All down it. It's the 3 amigos. It's a lot more than 3. They're just going to rip apart with the Mass Serpent Wards. How do you defend it? They haven't even got the Ravage off. Fada, he's waiting for the right time. At least Ace got his BKB off for the fight, but Arbed stands his ground, and this is over. 5 heroes are basically falling. The buybacks are coming in thick and fast, but they're losing their base. The Mass Serpent Wards do the work. The Ravage will connect on 4, but it's still not enough. The Ice Wall is down, and GG, well played. Fnatic has done it. They will take game 1 of this best of 3 winners bracket final.
And they end it with just a casual 42,000 gold advantage, 40-something thousand experience advantage too. I actually love the little interaction there as the Crimson Guard block with the wards hitting the Ancient. It looked kind of cool, that little red bubble, but Fnatic, they played such a fast-paced game. They took advantage of Secret having to rely on those cooldowns. I think that they just played around the Ravage, they played around the meta so well, and got so much farm on DJ that they could just do that at the end.
Yeah, that just felt like a really well thought out game. Like you could have given your bus to any others. Like, no, we're going to give like 3 tomes as well to DJ. We're going to make sure that this is going to be it. And at the end of the day, it wasn't even necessary. So Fnatic, terrific game. 1 Team Secret back to the drawing board, and they've got a little bit of time in the break to work out exactly what went wrong and what they can do right.
Indeed, they will. Thank you very much, Toby. We'll, of course, come back to you for game number 2. We're back here with our panel members once more after a thoroughly dominant performance by Fnatic. Not what we perhaps were expecting there. Certainly not what Mr. Blitz was expecting.
No, not at all. That was stupid impressive. Like,
really good. 42,000 goal lead at the end of that game.
Nah, even disregarding that, it's like, I don't even know if Secret played all that bad. Like, they made some pretty game-losing decisions. Like, I think Ace's item build impacted them quite a bit, but for the most part, this was just Fnatic playing very, very well.
It was. Alan, there was some crazy stats in the middle of that. What do you pick out of that?
There are a number of them, but I think I'll start with Invoker is now 6-1 head-to-head against Tinker in 2018 pro matches, and 4 of those wins are Fnatic. That is a Fnatic counter pick. They're super comfortable with that matchup. Fnatic actually had 2 Shadow Blades by, I believe, 16 minutes of this game. Beastmaster, Universe now has 5 of the 7 fastest times on record for Shadowblade on Beastmaster, and I think he started doing the build actually when Fnatic beat EG with it at Hamburg. It was Ohio that rushed the Shadowblade. The other thing, you gave me a super cool stat toward the end, Paul, right before we came back, and that's that Secret had been unbeaten since 707 on 4 out of these 5 heroes.
Indeed, yeah, pretty great. I mean, there's just so many things we could pull out of this game, Kevin. Where do you start? I mean, do you want to talk more about how they played and the style of play?
Yeah, Fnatic just played impeccably. They played extremely rapidly. They basically, what they did was they put Beastmaster in the safe lane, and they did Envy in this like dual offlane thing. And then what they did is they all bought Shadow Blades. And by doing so, it helped to make up for the fact that a hero like Invoker doesn't move around the map very much, because he was kind of passively farming, and then they had DJ on the Shadow Shaman kind of passively farming. So the other 3 heroes constantly moved around getting kills. And when you do that and you're successful, because you have a lot of stuns, disables, plus Sunstrike, all of a sudden Secret doesn't feel comfortable to move on the map. And a lot of the times it was like DJ killing Tinker by himself, or spotting 4 allies. Like, the amount of pressure they put on the map from like the 10 to 25 minute mark was actually bizarrely insane. Like, Secret looked like a trash team because Fnatic played so amazing.
Yeah, it actually, we didn't get a chance to talk about this at the end of the draft because we're always kind of rushed, but it reminded me a lot of how OG and Liquid both used to run Miracles Invoker. They had 4 out of the 5, all 4 heroes besides the Invoker could set up the Sunstrike kill combo. And when you think about what Liquid used to do, where they would draft these like Earthshaker, Necrophos Invoker lineups, where all of a sudden you get Fissured, Reapers, and Sunstruck and you're dead, that's what it felt like with Fnatic and these multiple Shadow Blades.
Blitz, you've often said to me privately and on the show, one swallow does not make a summer. They have to do it again and again. And obviously, you didn't use those exact words. Those are my words. But they've still got to close this one out.
Yeah, they do. And Secret is still a very good team, but I mean, Fnatic I'm still kind of shocked. Like, I think the stuff that they did right, they did so right. And this was probably one of the better games that I've ever seen Universe play in this patch. He was blistering on the map. He puts so much pressure pretty much everywhere. They're Roche decisions every single time. Like, this is sort of Envy's patch, right? Because every single time he's getting this Roche on, they have the Shadow Shaman. They almost always secure the third one as well. That's what happened in their series against Na'Vi. Teams have to get better at responding to this, and so far they haven't.
Yeah, I mean, Kevin, in a way, there's almost too much to think about now for Secret in this 15-minute gap, isn't there? What do they focus on? Do they get rid of something? What do they ban?
I mean, I think the interesting thing is that this game was very much like the Na'Vi game they played, except it was ultra crisp. So I think if Secret's looking at that, what do? I think Shadow Shaman secures the ultra late game. I don't think they needed that this game. They were winning so bad. So the next question is more like maybe like lane matchups. The fact that they got to do Universe in the safe lane, is it that they need to have ways to shut down the gank pressure that happens from 10 to 20 minutes? Maybe, I don't think they're going to pick Tinker again, so maybe that doesn't make the Invoker as good, but I still feel like they could maybe make Invoker work against different matchups. It is a lot. It's definitely a lot, but I mean, if somebody's going to figure out, it's probably Puppey, the most underrated MVP, right? right, Paul?
Well, I didn't say he was underrated. I just said he didn't win many MVPs. That's how it is. I mean, just saying, but getting called out here on the panel. We are ready for a quick break right now. When we come back, of course, we will see whether Team Secret can get themselves back in contention for a spot in the semi-finals. Remember, Fnatic now just one game away from finishing at least top 4 here at ESL One Katowice. We'll see you in a bit.
Range to pull back Universe. That's where Universe starts with a Roar, begins his run, the Reflection units chasing him off, and here comes your Snowball forward. The Shards catching both of them from Yapzor, but will it be good or not? Universe is still there in the back line thanks to the Glimpse, so they split up. DJ goes one way, Ace able to finish him off, and Universe running circles now. The wall is there from Puppey, the Axes will kill him off, and Universe's high movement speed, he has enough speed to outrun the Tuskar Shards. Maybe not enough to get through this. Snowball coming in. Almost enough damage. Butter is so...
Life is all about following a few simple